Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. Gonna be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of our game against PSG in the Champions League group stage. So obviously Edinson Cavani was mentioned. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says that Edinson Cavani had no malicious intent on calling a friend Negrito on a social media post. Solskjaer said that Edinson Cavani has learned the hard way. But yeah, he says that, Edinson Cavani has apologised. And he says that Edinson Cavani could be affected by the Football Association probe into the social media post that he had deleted. But yeah, I think he's going to be facing a 3-match ban. Solskjaer said Edinson Cavani is ready to play in this game against PSG. It would be good to see him reunite with his former club. Edinson Cavani came off the bench against Southampton and scored 2 goals for Manchester United. And he also got an assist. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He was also good against Istanbul Başakşehir. That was his first start for the club. He was also good when he came on against West Brom. He scored his first goal for the club in our 3-1 win against Everton. And he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 230 grand a week, or is it 240 grand a week? So yeah. Now, also, Solskjaer has confirmed that we've got a fully fit squad for the game against PSG. He confirmed that David De Gea has been training and he's available for selection. David De Gea did sustain a knee injury in our 3-2 win against Southampton. He attempted to keep out James Ward-Prowse's free kick, and that's obviously when he banged his knee on the goalpost. But yeah, I always thought that his injury wasn't going to be too severe. Solskjaer said it wasn't going to be too severe after the game. So I presume now he's had that scan on his knee. There's a lot of Manchester United fans saying, though, that we need to put Dean Henderson now as our number 1. Probably now David De Gea will start this game against PSG, but obviously it would have been Dean Henderson if David De Gea hadn't have been available. Dean Henderson recently made his Premier League debut for the club. Alex Telles, he's come back from a minor injury. Don't forget he came off injured in our 3-2 win against Southampton. Paul Pogba and McTominay have been back in training, which is good news from a Man United perspective. Paul Pogba, I think, missed our last 3 games. Is it with an ankle injury? McTominay's had a knock. Donny van de Beek, he's now okay. He's passed 2 Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tests. There was recently a picture, was it on social media, of Donny van de Beek's swollen ankle. Donny van de Beek started against Southampton. That was his first start in the Premier League for the club. Luke Shaw, he's been back in training, but he's still a doubt because he has been out with a hamstring injury. Phil Jones still remains injured. Anthony Martial, he's been back in training. He missed the game against Southampton because he got ill overnight. Did Anthony Martial. So yeah, this is good news. Now, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer brushes off transfer talks because obviously he was asked about transfers and that in January, and he basically disregarded it, and he said, he's focusing on this game against PSG. He also answered a question about Erling Haaland in the press conference, and he says, Solskjaer, that Erling Haaland will surpass his own goal scoring record in years to come. And Solskjaer even said that Haaland will beat his goal scoring record. There's a few other questions here that he was asked. Solskjaer was asked about a title challenge, and this is what he said: you lose the chance to win or lose the title in the first 8 to 10 games. If you don't keep up with the pack, but we don't win in those games, we've recuperated and we've just been behind the top teams at the moment, but we want to be there in April or May. Now is the time to improve and develop, and if we can up there, then great. Now our focus is the Champions League, and we want to win our group. We can talk as much as we like and give players belief. That belief in their performances, on what we do day in, day out. Like Donny next to me has the attitude of every day is important. I feel my squad is ready to do better than last season. Last season we were the best of the rest, so let's see if we can move up the table. Now, obviously, as you all know, Donny van der Beek was alongside Ollie in the press conference, and he was also asked a few questions. Solskjaer has made his feelings on Donny van der Beek clear. He says that Donny van der Beek is a big part of the club. There's obviously been rumours of Juventus being interested in Donny van der Beek. Calcio Mercato recently said that Juventus are lining up a move for him next summer and could consider a loan and an obligation to buy or an option to buy. It also mentioned a swap deal. We only got Donny van der Beek a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? So there's a few other questions here. I'll just read one or two more out. This is the Martial Cavani debate. Obviously, this says, I think there was only one position here where we can only say it's between Dean and David. The rest have got the ability to play in different positions. Anthony, Marcus, Mason, Edison, even they can play in any positions in the front four. There is tactical reasons about whether it's Anthony, Marcus, Mason or Edison down the middle. Sometimes it's two of them. So yeah, so these are some of the stuff that were mentioned during the press conference. Obviously Solskjaer is aware that PSG are a good team with good players. We only need 1 point to qualify for the knockout stage. We've won 3 games out of 4 in the group stage. Solskjaer has already beaten PSG twice as Manchester United manager. We're beating them in the group stage earlier on in the season, 2-1. And we're beating them in the last 16 a few years ago by 3-1. Don't forget we overcame a 2-goal deficit. PSG did get to the Champions League final last season. They did lose to Bayern Munich 1-1. They recently drew 2-2 with Bordeaux. We've been in a good vein of form though recently. We've won our last 4 games in all competitions. This is why Solsjaer was asked about mounting a title challenge up. If we do beat PSG tomorrow, that will be 5 wins in a row for Man United in all competitions. PSG's current manager is Thomas Tuchel. By the way, PSG have got a few players out with injury. They've got Mario Icardi now out with injury again. They've got Sarabia out with injury. They've got Juan Bernat out with injury. He's out to March. They've got Julian Draxler out. They've got Marquinhos out. And they've also got Carrera out as well. Not so long ago, Idrissa Gueye came back from injury for PSG. Obviously, PSG have got Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria. They're 2 former Man United players, so I think they should be in contention to play tomorrow. You know, they've obviously got Mbappe and Neymar. It'll be interesting to see how our defence comes up against them too. Mbappe and Neymar are the 2 most expensive players in the world at the moment. They've obviously got Marco Verratti, who I like a lot. They've got that Kim Pepe. They've got Moise Kean. I think they've got Rafinha. But yeah, this will be a tough game. But we have been very, very dominant in Europe. Tuanzebe won't be available for this game. That's been confirmed because he is suspended. He's Axel Tuanzebe. But Tuanzebe was very, very good in the game against PSG earlier on in the season. I like the way he dealt with Mbappe and Neymar. That was Tuanzebe's first game for Man United in like 10 months. Because don't forget he was out with injury for a while. At the weekend we do play West Ham in the Premier League. That should be a win for Manchester United. It is at the London Stadium. And we've lost our last 2 games at the London Stadium. Lost there 2-0 and also lost there 3-1. At the weekend, David Moyes will be reuniting with Manchester United. Again, David Moyes is currently into the second spell. He's in his second spell with West Ham. David Moyes is not a good manager. I think the only club he did well at was Everton. He endured around 10 or 11 years with Everton. Obviously, he was bad at us. He only endured around 8 months or so at Man United. You know, he's endured the shortest tenure at the club. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. He was bad at Sunderland because he got Sunderland relegated, and he was also bad at Real Sociedad. You know, West Ham have got some good players in their team. You know, I like that Lanzini. I like Sebastian Haller. I think he's probably their best player or one of their best players. That Mikel Antonio's quite good for West Ham. I like Declan Rice a lot. Very good holding midfielder, Declan Rice. I like the way he breaks up the play. And, you know, Man United have been in for him before a few times. And West Ham still got Felipe Anderson. They've got Jack Wilshere, but obviously he's injured quite a lot. Yeah, they've got like Yarmolenko of West Ham. They've still got Aaron Cresswell in their team. They've got Ben Rama. They got him on loan from Brentford. They got Dawson. You know, they got him on loan from Watford. After West Ham, it is RB Leipzig. That's our final game of the group stage. And then after that, it is Manchester City. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United, aren't there? Like I said though, reflecting on our good vein of form recently, a lot of pressure would have eased off Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. Because going into that game against Everton, Solsjaer was under serious pressure. And if we hadn't have beaten Everton earlier on this season, I think he would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. I think when I was sitting like, is it 8th in the Premier League? We know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards, but there's still a long way to go in the season, you know. We're like, 5 points behind Liverpool or something like that. But Ed Woodward came out quite a few weeks ago and he said Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite us having a poor start to the season. Now, we've done well away from home in the Premier League. You know, we've won our last 8 away games in the Premier League and we actually haven't lost away from home in the league since January. And that's really good. We've obviously got to sort out our home form. We've only won 1 game at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. That was the 1-0 win against West Brom. We was enjoying our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years or something like that. Like I updated you not so long ago, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about a new contract at Manchester United. And he did come out and say that his priority, he said, sorry, a new contract is not his priority at the moment. He said his priority is leading the club to long-term success. He did say, Solskjaer, that the team are going places under his management. By the way, he has made a prediction ahead of the January transfer window, and he says he doesn't expect a busy January transfer window because I think he's happy with our current squad. Now, like I said to you, there has been a lot of players on our agenda now. I've been hearing rumours today about Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes, and it said he is going to be available for around £45 million next year. He hasn't had a good start to the season with Rennes. At one point, Rennes wanted around £70 million for him. So would you take Camavinga at Man United? I suppose he'd be a good replacement for Paul Pogba. Obviously, there's a lot of rumours saying that we could go in for Ousmane Dembele in January. It did recently say that we're not giving up on Ousmane Dembele and we've stepped up our interest in him. Mundo Deportivo said that Barcelona are willing to negotiate the Ousmane Dembele deal with Man United. I think Barcelona have said they want around £67 million, but we want to get him on loan, Ousmane Dembele. My element of concern about him is that he's injury prone. He's sustained quite a few injuries at Barcelona. He's enjoyed a good 3 years or so there now. Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million. Barca paid 90 odd million up front. Barcelona not so long ago paid an extra 4.4 million to Borussia Dortmund. Ousmane Dembele has played over 50 games for Barcelona. He's under contract with Barca until 2022. Said a few weeks ago could be available for around £45 million in January. It says we're going to go back in for Jadon Sancho in January. Jadon Sancho made an admission the other week saying that this season has been hard for him. He was our number 1 priority target during the summer transfer window, but Dortmund said that they wanted £108 million. We was not willing to meet their £108 million valuation. But he said a few times during the summer transfer window that we agreed the personal terms, we agreed the agent fees, but we just couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee. That was the problem. Michael Zorgan, Lucien Favre and Sebastian Kehl said during the summer that Sancho would have remained at Dortmund, which he did. We had until the 10th of August to get him and we missed out on that deadline. But if Sancho came to the Premier League, I think he would exceed expectations. Erling Haaland could go in for him next year. Like I said, we wanted Erling Haaland back in January, but we didn't get him because obviously we had no Champions League football to offer at that point, and Haaland obviously had concerns over the club's long term success. But Ed Woodward and Solsjaer met up with Haaland in December of last year in Norway. But we didn't get him. It was a shame. But Solskjaer knows the player well because Solskjaer was the one that gave him his debut at the age of 16. But yeah, Dortmund paid just £17 million for Haaland in January. He's got a contract with Dortmund till 2024. Haaland has got a £68 million release clause, but that doesn't become active until the summer of 2022. Madrid have also been interested in him. Now, I think we're going to try and make some signings next summer as well as January. I think we could go in for Dayot Upamecano next summer because, as you all know, he's going to be available for around £36 million. That's when his release clause does become active. You know the news on Hakan Çalhanoğlu? Christian Falk from Bild recently said that it's very, very likely that Hakan Çalhanoğlu will join Man United next summer. And it says we've got a 90% chance of signing the player next summer because we have been in advanced talks with his agent. There's been a few clubs that have been in for Çalhanoğlu. He's got around 7 months left on his contract with AC Milan. AC Milan paid around, was it £20 million for him from Bayer Leverkusen. So would you take him at Manchester United? It said a few weeks ago we was also interested in David Carmo. But yeah, it is good that we are making plans for next year. I definitely think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs more backing at the club. Because I don't think the board have backed him enough. You know, the board have been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years because the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left. You know, they didn't back Moyes, they didn't back Van Gaal, they didn't back Mourinho, and they haven't backed Solskjaer. Have they? Because we missed out on all of his priority targets during the summer transfer window. It'd be very, very beneficial if we could recommend a director of footballing because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. And we've been trying to get a director of footballing now for like the last 3 seasons or something like that. There's been quite a few former Man United players linked with that director's role. You know what I mean? We're going to offload players next year because there's still deadwood in the squad that we need to get rid of. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We'll be looking to get rid of Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Sergio Romero. Sergio Romero's now our third choice goalkeeper, sorry. There's a good chance Pogba could leave next year. The summer's more likely than January though. Matic could leave next year because Matic has lost his place in the team. He's only been playing recently, Matic, because Pogba and McTominay haven't been available. Mata could leave next year. Possibly Daniel James could, because James has been out of form and plus his appearances have been limited, especially this season. There's been rumours that Brandon Williams could go out on loan because he's now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. There's been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. But Solskjaer said prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game that Dean Henderson wants to stay at Man United and he wants to play for the club. You know what I mean? But we've already seen a lot of players leave since Solskjaer got recommended into the club. Solskjaer has spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager, and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows at the club, but he has made some good signings. You know, Solskjaer did well last season, because last season he got us qualification for the Champions League, also got us third and guided us to 3 semi-finals. I like the way he's promoted the youth. Ole has showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. We've enjoyed some good periods under him. We're enjoying a good period now. You know, so there's positive to take, definitely. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And I said he's got to exceed his expectations this season if he is to remain Man United manager. If we could finish in the top 4 this season and win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United, and then that would give us something to build on. We won't win the Premier League this season and we won't win the Champions League, but I think there's a chance we could win the Carabao Cup or we could win the FA Cup. We've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. You know, next month's his 2-year anniversary at the club. Oh, sorry, this month's his 2-year anniversary at the club. Because he's been at Man United now for almost 2 years. You know, he's under contract with Man United until 2022. He's managed over 100 games for us in all competitions. There has obviously been a lot of rumours of Mauricio Pochettino becoming Man United's next manager. He's been the favourite to take over. There's obviously been rumours of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. There's obviously been rumours of Julian Nagelsmann coming in. That was a few weeks ago. But it wouldn't really solve a lot if we sacked Ole. It really, really wouldn't. Because not all the blame stems from Ole, does it? You know, like I've said, a lot of the blame stems from the board, why we've been so poor. You know, there's still players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the football club. But yeah. But like I've said, I still don't think Ole's the long term for Man United. I hope I'm proven wrong. I really, really do. He hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. But as a player, I thought Solskjaer was very, very good. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United. But in the last 8 years, we've been playing catch-up because obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent over £1 billion since Ferguson left, and we've brought around 36 players in since Ferguson left. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for like 8 years. We've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under Jose Mourinho, you know. But like I've already gone through with you, there's players at Man United that have really impressed me this season. Rashford's been very, very impressive. I think in general, Rashford's really improved under the Solskjaer era. We need to play Rashford on the left wing or the right wing, because I think Rashford's more effective out wide than he is centrally. I've been very impressed with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is our best signing since Ferguson left. I've been impressed with Donny van der Beek when he's played. He hasn't played a lot, but it's looking likely now he's going to be getting more and more opportunities, which he deserves. I've been impressed with Fred. You know, he's undroppable at the moment. Luke Shaw impressed me before he got injured. Tellez has enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Harry Maguire, he's also really impressed me. De Gea's been impressive this season. And Wan-Bissaka's enjoyed some good games, but he's enjoyed a couple of bad games. Edison Cavani, he's also really, really impressed me. I always said, didn't I, you know, he's going to be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So yeah, there's quite a few players that have impressed me. Don't get me wrong, there's players that have disappointed me. You know, Daniel James has been disappointing. Pogba's been disappointing. Hopefully, Pogba, you know, can get back good again. Matic's been disappointing. Martial, he's been disappointing this season. Did well against Istanbul Başakşehir, but prior to that, he's struggled this season as Anthony Martial. So he's got to get back to how he was last season. You know, Lingard, when he used to play a lot, very disappointing. But he doesn't get in the team now anyway. You know, Jones has been very, very inconsistent since he came from Blackburn under Ferguson. Jones doesn't get in the team now anyway. So there you go. Eric Bay, he's good, but my element of concern about him, he's too injury prone. Tuanzebe, he's done well in some games he's played in this season. So there you go. You already know the news on Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Reports have recently said that we've offered him a 3-year contract because Solsjaer wants to keep him at the club. I think he's only started like 4 games in 3.5 years at the club. But last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. So I suppose Fosu-Mensah is another option at right back. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.